Hey guys, come with me as I show you guys how to vector your image. In this case, it'll be for tufting, so it can help you with your photos. Okay, so I'm using my Mac, and the app or the system that I'm using is Adobe Illustrator. I'll probably do another part to it, just depends, but I'm gonna find my image here. So I'm gonna go to File, I'm gonna go to Place, and I went and got this Jay-Z image, of course, rocking the house. And what you want to do when you see it like this, you can go ahead and just place it, just put it to the width and the height that you want, instead of when you place it on here, if you do it without doing that, it's going to be like extra big. All right, so when you get here, you want to go to Object, and then you want to go to Rasterize. Then you just press OK. So keep in mind, you may have to do a little bit of work with this, but if it can help you out, which I'm still learning myself too, just to move around with it, but I believe it'll definitely help you out to get like the images that you want. So from there, you want to go to Image Trace. Now, when you go to Image Trace, it's going to have this version, like a black and white version. It's up to you, but I'm gonna choose color. And pretty much from color, I go through it. So this is your panel that you'll be working with. And from this panel, you'll have different results for it, where you can switch out the colors, the amount of colors that you want. So let's see how this looks. So right now you see how it is separating the colors a bit, but you want to make sure to get pretty much like the exact. So the options that I choose are either like low fidelity photo, 6 colors or 16 colors, and you can just kind of play around with those to see what's best. So let's see how it look when we do low fidelity photo. So it's gonna load up, and then you'll be able to see it just working, doing its progress. And then I'll make this bigger as well. All right, so these are the results from it. Usually I'll just play around with it to see from the low fidelity. So say for instance, like you can change the colors of the separation. So this is at 20 right now. Let's say you want to go down to 10. So this is how it's looking from 10. And like I mentioned, you can play around with it as well. But let's go ahead and take a look to see. Let's do the 6 colors and to see how that comes out. Because the less is better. You want to make sure, like with the yarn and the colors, that you can match it up. So you don't want to have too much difficulty. So this is with the 6 colors. So this is the preset that you can see right here. Now this is something that I would pretty much do in this case, because it gives me, you know, reasonable colors that I can match up with the yarn. But like I mentioned, you can also play around with it. So if you wanted to, let's say, go to 16 colors, let's see how that will look. See, with 16 colors is a bit more. So you want to make sure that when you are doing your images, that you can get a good enough, less amount of colors is better, but you also just want to have a good visual when you're drawing your image. So for us, let's just go back to the 6 colors, because that was pretty much one that was more reasonable, that you can pretty much work with. And within Illustrator, you can be able to change it how you want in that case. Now I'm gonna show y'all something here. You see how this like eyebrow is gone from like this image here? Now you can tuft it like this, like if you feel like it's reasonable for you and it'll still look good, by all means. But say for instance, you wanted to, you know, have that eyebrow, at least some black in there. This is something that you can do. So what you can do is just go back to the old image. I'm gonna speed this up because it's time consuming, but I use the pen tool, and from the pen tool, I'll just copy from the original image with the eyebrow and then go around that. Make sure that there's no fill at that time, and then you can fill it once you go back to your regular image. And then what you do from there is just work it how you want to, if you just want to have like some sort of image. And then change the opacity so it goes down. All right, so for there, I just played with the presets a little bit. Now, when you're done, go ahead and click expand. This is going to allow you to be able to, you can actually change colors. You can, for like certain patterns that's in there, but you have to make sure you press that direct selection tool. So in this case, say for instance, you wanted to minimize the colors, like for your tufting, what you'll do from there, you can click on the highlighted pattern that you want, go to your fill, and then pretty much click whatever color that you want to see how it may look. So this is very useful too, because it allows you to be able to move around with it. You can be able to see like what works for you once you get everything pretty much up and running. Now you can also use this in the case for like colors. So say for instance, if you wanted to colorize it, you have to make sure you again press that direct selection tool and then just choose like certain colors that you may want to have in there for the most part. So I'm just messing around with this just to show you, but it's useful. It's definitely something that, you may get right off the bat, but you could just use like an image and just toss around and play around with it. In this case, of course, I wouldn't use that, but this is just something where I wanted to show you guys like a video. I do see it a lot on how do you vet your image, and sometimes people don't tell you, but hopefully this will help you out.